Good evening, folks, and welcome to another night of Touching Eternity, the podcast. Another Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Tonight, it's just me, Sid Patrick. My beautiful partner, Alicia Nicole, is driving on back down south through all this crazy weather, and we're going to say some prayers for her, and she's probably tuning in and watching us. So hopefully she'll chime in and send us some messages online. Hopefully she can see us on Facebook, but please be careful, Alicia. So tonight I'm going to change a little bit on the topic up there. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about relationships, like we had last night, relationships and spirituality. I'm going to update those titles for you guys right now while a few people log on. I see I've got 2 people signed on. Feel free to text a message. Let me know you're in the house. If you're on Facebook. Okay. Again, welcome to Touching Eternity, the podcast. Let me go on here now. Hi, everybody. Oh, good. 4 people. We're logging in. Good. Great. So added on today. So we're going to talk about relationships. Continue our talk about relationships and spirituality. Got a little wild last night talking about relationships. But tonight I promise to talk a little bit about spirituality. Alicia, I hope you're safe out there in this cold and snow and ice. Please be safe on the road. She is traveling from up north all the way down south, and it's just bad weather all the way. So we extended her some love and some prayers. Tonight, if I get a few people, hey, Tina, yes, glad you made it back. And I see we have a few others. Magni was supposed to be, hey, Denise. Magni was going to try to be here tonight with us. However, his plane had some tail end damage, and so they canceled that flight, so he had to move to the next flight. Hello, Sophia. And so glad that you guys can make it back. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about spirituality and how to bring that into your relationship. And hello, Lynn. How you doing? All right. So great. We're just getting started. So, and again, if I have a decent group in here tonight, I will do a couple of readings for you guys before I go. I will tap in and see if I can connect to anyone that's in the audience. I was hoping that Magni would be here so that I could see my TikTok people, because when I'm on this site, when I'm broadcasting, I know I'm on TikTok, but I cannot see the comments on TikTok, unfortunately. Unless, and if he was here, he could follow me, but TikTok does not allow me to see myself when I am messaging through this system. So that's something that we are trying to work with, and I was hoping he was here so that I could. Let me see if I can get in there. I'm going to try real quick just to see if I can possibly. Yeah, no, it is not allowing me to see myself, of course. So it does not allow me to see myself. So I see a lot of the people that I follow are on, but I don't see myself on TikTok. So I cannot respond to TikTok. So if you are following me on TikTok, please also go to Facebook if you want to type in some messages for me. And I apologize and ahead of time if I'm doing any readings later and I'm hitting your loved ones if you're on TikTok, and I'm not able to see your responses back to me. But please take those with love and take those messages with love and understanding, and bear with me. Like I said, we're working this week on 2 factors. We're working on one, trying to make it so that I can see the TikTok responses, and also working on bringing in people from other locations into the room with a split screen so that I can bring in people from all over the world and have guests live on as well. So that's the 2 things that we are going to be working on this week for upcoming podcasts. So that way I don't have to have them physically in the room here with me, that I can bring in somebody from another location. And with this new program, we chose this program because it does allow me to go to more than one website. Like right now, we're live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. So we're streaming at all three places at the same time, which is really great. And this was one of the only few that did that. So we're still learning it and we're still playing with it. It's like I said, bear with us for a few weeks until we get it completely going. But anyway, oh great, I got 10 people in here. So let's get down to the topic. I got 10 people. I think that, I don't know if that's from all three websites or if that's just Facebook. But anyway, I can follow Facebook. And then we'll get talking about the topic because it's 8:06 and I want to get on and start talking. Let's see here. Okay. Well, that's from last night. So I'm trying to see if I can see the live on here. Yes, I can. Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about tonight is spirituality, and then I want to talk how to bring that successfully into your relationship. Are y'all finding that the room is a little dark? Would you like me to put more light on for you guys, or is this good enough? Because if I can keep that ring light off, it works better for me. But if you need more, if you would like more light, I can put the ring light on, and it will put some more light into the room. If this does get too dark for you guys, just let me know. Okay, y'all good? Perfect. Because when I start to do reading, I know I'm very clairvoyant. So when I start doing readings, all I see is that white circle of light. But anyway, when I shut my eyes. So last night we talked a lot about relationships and how to protect your space, how to shine, how to look. Bringing your spirituality into it helps you with that. And your spirituality should be very personal to you. And this is actually a year where you should definitely, thank you, Gwen, and thank you, Lynn, thank you, Tina, thank you, Denise. You should work on, because this is a 9-year numerology, it's a year of endings, but this is also a year where you work on your humanistic values as well. 7s and 9 years are very good for that. So this is a year where you should be working on developing your inner structure, your inner wiring, those things. So work on your kindness, work on your heart, work on letting go of things that are stressing you, work on letting go and ending things that are, hey Chris, work on letting go of things that are causing you pain or harm or fear, letting go of things that are causing you discomfort in any kind of way. And how do you do that? And I am not one of those people, and I say this in my energetics class, I am not one of these people who forgive any longer. I do not believe in forgiveness, because no matter how much you try to forgive somebody or forgive a situation or forgive something that happens, you always hold something. You can't never just let it completely go. That little piece or that memory just sits there. But what I have found to be more effective than forgiveness is understanding and then understanding why that person behaved that way, understanding that, you need to maybe put that person in a place, like you need to stand on that side of the fence. If you're going to try to harm me, I need to put you over here until you learn how to act correctly or with respect towards me. And it doesn't matter who that person is. It could be your own child. It could be a family member. It could be, but you need to start demanding that respect. Okay. And I'm not talking about letting your ego take over and just being this harsh, cold-hearted person. I'm talking about true respect for them as well as for yourself. And coming from a place of love with it. And trying to understand, like, what happened to this person that they reacted that way? What creature or monster created that behavior, created the way they're reacting, what happened to that person in their life, and then putting them on that side of the fence and keeping them out of your energetic field until they can heal or they can understand that they got something going on with them that they maybe need to look at. I can give you an example. I have someone that I've worked with, and I don't want to say any names, and I won't say names, but I have a person that I have worked with in the past who was very defensive, and everything you said to this person, they got very defensive. No matter what you said, I mean, they immediately went on the attack all the time. And it got to be so overwhelming that at one point I just had to let them, hey, look, I have to hold you to your word. I mean, if every time I'm trying to talk to you, you get defensive, then I can't talk to you. I mean, it's like, because anything I'm telling you is you're not trying to understand. I said, I cannot work with you if you're not willing to stop and listen and look and see. So I literally had to let the person go because they were not perceiving what I was trying to accomplish with them or what I needed them to see because they were so defensive. And I know this came from somewhere else. This wasn't something that this happened to this person overnight. And they got a little offended when I said to them, I said, I don't know what's going on with you at home. I don't know if this is something that happened previous to you, but something happened. You're very defensive with everything that I say to you. I said, I can't even tell you, I can't even say to you about any type of incident without you jumping back at me like with a million excuses why it wasn't you. I said, I just need you to see something. I need you to see the bigger picture. I need you to see, I'm not angry. I just need you to see something, So, and again, you just at times you might have to put that person on the other side. So part of developing your spirituality is try to always come from that place of kindness and understanding. But sometimes you do have to be a little hard, especially with your children or family members, because it's hard. And those are the hard ones because they are people that it's hard to break away from them, or it's hard to maybe take a step back from them, or maybe putting them on the other side of the fence because you do have interactions with your family or with your children. You can't just say, get out the house. You just, but you may have to set boundaries within the household with them. You still have to deal with them if they're minor children. You still have to deal with them, but you can demand respect. You can hold barriers with them and say, until you learn to stop the negativity or stop the bad behavior, we're not going, nothing's going to change right here. And you need to understand that I'm not going to have you talk to me a certain way. You're not going to behave a certain way, here. And I still love you, but you have to understand that I'm not going to tolerate the negativity. And those are just things that I want you to keep in mind, even with your partner. If you have a partner, you can have an argument and you can have a disagreement, but there has to come a point in there where, and you have to be open to your reaction back as well. It's not just about how they react to you. It's also how you have to be conscious how you react to your partner. And this is all part of your spiritual development too, because you have to come from a place of kindness and from a place that's within your heart. And your partner needs to also understand you, because you have triggers just as they have triggers. And hey, and people who know me know I'm no saint, because when I get angry, I get angry. It takes a lot, but a few of you have seen it. A few of you out there have seen it. It takes a lot. But when I do, I can blow, but when I'm done, I'm done. And I let it, and I'm able to let it go. And that's the big thing, is that you're able to get it off your chest and then take a step back, take a breath, think about what happened, and then try to make it work for everybody. So, that's part of helping build your spirituality. Now, is spirituality and religion the same? No, not at all. One of the big differences in religion, we pray to someone. In spirituality, we pray with someone. So that's one of the big differences. We are that person. So, hey Alicia, how you doing, love? So I like to say that to people. There is a big difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality comes from your heart and your soul. Religion is something that you are taught. You don't have to be taught spirituality. Spirituality comes from within, comes from the soul. It comes from love. Religion is something that is taught, and it cultures, and it has control involved, where spirituality does not. Spirituality comes from a pure place of love. And so I am no longer religious, I am spiritual. And when people ask me, well, what is your religion? It is, I am a spiritualist. And people say, well, what is a spiritualist? Well, I said, well, look it up. And if once you look it up and you see what I do, then you understand why I'm a spiritualist. Because spiritualist is what defines mediumship. So I am a medium. And again, I don't expect everyone to be a medium. But I respect all religions. I respect all different types of people in their spiritual journeys, because as a human, I believe, and this is just me, but you need to think about it. I understand that everybody is on their own journey in this physical realm. And I'm not saying my way is right. I'm not saying your way is right. I'm just saying we're all on this journey trying to figure it out. And what I tell people is you have to figure out what makes your soul happy. What makes your soul happy in this journey of life? What makes your soul happy? And what keeps you out of the most trouble? What keeps you happy? Because if you cannot be happy with yourself, you are not going to bring happiness to anyone else, or nor are you ever going to be happy with anyone else. And that is one of the biggest misconceptions in relationships. I'm not happy because I'm not with anybody. Well, if you're not happy by yourself, you're not going to be happy with anybody else either. You're just going to make them miserable too. So you're just looking for, because misery loves company. I know y'all heard that one. So you're just going to make them miserable too. So first learn to be happy with yourself. Learn to be positive. Learn to enjoy life. In life, that doesn't mean you're taking vacations and going out and meeting new people every night and getting lucky all the time. That's not happiness. Happiness is finding peace and finding love within your soul. And some of those things might be included in that, but that's not always necessary. It's being positive. It's being stress-free. It's having a plan in life. It's not having fear of things in life. It's being able to, when problems happen, it's being able to roll with those problems. It's being able to solve those problems without fear and without stress. And it took me a long time, it took me a long time to understand that. And I think it was probably the death of my father. It kind of helped me with that one, I think, the most, because when my mom died, I was still young and young in my journey, and I was young in developing my spirituality, and it hit me really hard. But then when my dad died, it was almost relief for me. It was almost, because he had suffered for so long, so it was almost relief for me. And it was, I wasn't happy that he died, but I felt it was time, and I was happy that he went peacefully, and I was happy that I got to spend good time with him, and I was happy that we made amends, and I was happy, that he was my father, and I have no regrets. And so, I looked at the positive things between him and I, not the negatives, because there were some negatives, but that's not what I looked at. I looked at those negative things as those were growing things between him and I. And I have to say that throughout the years of my life and his life, there were growing moments. There were negative things that happened, but I understand why they happened, because I went back and tried to understand things, like understand him and why he was the way he was and why I was the way I was. And, I tried to understand those things, and it really helped me through that journey. and it really helped me learn to respect him, and it helped me understand why he was the way he was, and the way I was the way I was, and it really helped with my acceptance of him leaving this earth, leaving his physical plane, and it helped me with his transition. And it was the first time that I didn't have a lot of grief or a lot of mourning about that. And it was my spirituality that helped me through those moments. And then post my father's passing, I am fortunate enough to know, a lot of mediums and a lot of some physical mediums. And one of my very good friends who's going to be at Touch in Eternity, the event, is Scott Milligan, and he's a physical medium. And he just happened to be in town and was doing a seance. And my little sister came, and my grandmother and father came through. And my little sister got to speak to my grandma and my dad in their voice, and she got closure. And it thrilled my heart to see her able to communicate in real time with her namesake, because she's named after my grandmother and my father, because she was having a rough time with the passing. And she was able, through the physical medium, able to communicate to my grandmother and my father. And I was present, so I got to hear their voices come through the medium. Well, through the spirit realm and through the medium in their natural voices. So it was quite amazing. So, because of my studies and the journeys that I've taken, I've been very fortunate to have life experiences as such. And so I say to you that, if you stay with your spirituality and you come from a place of love, you will experience some miracles. You will experience some things that you probably won't believe it for the first 30 or 40 times that they happen. But after it happens continuously over and over and over and over again, you will see miracles. And that's why I tell people, especially if you have a lot of grief, or you have lost a lot of people in your life and you're trying to find some salvation in that, become very spiritual, because you will, once your heart opens up, you will see miracles. You may not identify them at first because the grief will block you from recognizing them, but as time goes on, they will continue to come and you will see them. I promise. I now see miracles every day, to the point that things happen in my house all the time. And I'm sure while I was away in the UK, if any of y'all that follow, those of you who are on Facebook, I'm sure seen the post by Trunny when she was staying at my house. She saw an apparition walk out of my laundry room and come into my home, and they did a big old ghost hunt, and that ghost knew me and called me out by name. So, and so they actually got it on a recording and stuff. So, so yes, I have live spirits in my house. So when y'all come over for y'all appointments, who knows what's gonna happen, because I have live spirits in my house. But they're all friendly. They're all friendly. One of them just doesn't like Trunny so much. That's Denise. She throws stuff at her. But anyway, it's not. So what I say to you is, if you come from a place of kindness and love and heart, and you work with your spirituality, you too will see miracles. You too will get raps and taps. That's how it usually starts. You'll feel depresses on the bed when you're asleep. You will feel when you're in that twilight. You will dream more. You will. I was in England, and I was with a girl, who was. I was actually with a girl. I was living in Texas, and I had a girl and a guy that kind of went to England with me, and we were at a college there with a bunch of people. And the girl was a healer, and she kept feeling a lot of pain in her shoulder, and she kept thinking it was my mother, and my mother used to blame me for the bursitis in her shoulder. And all of a sudden she says, "Sid, make it stop. It's hurting. Your mom's hurting me." And I said, "Mom, don't hurt this girl." And when I said that, all of a sudden I saw like a TV screen go over her face, almost like a black and white screen. Then I saw my mother's face go over her face, and then the pain went away. It was really weird. Like, I was like, where the hell that came from? It was like freaky. And so that was one of the many miracles that I've seen. I've seen so many things in my lifetime that it's too many to even write a book, because it literally is almost every day that I see or experience something which most people might say is supernatural, but I think it's very natural, because I find energy and spirituality very natural. But most people are too busy in their everyday life to totally understand where these things come from, or how energetics work, or how things process. People just don't understand it because they're not taught it, or they don't understand how it lines up. But I promise you that if you anybody that's hung around me knows, if they hung around me, or they hang around with anybody that they see me do events with or anything, they know, because they've seen it. Because I've taken many of you, that a few of you in this room have been to live seance with me, so y'all know that in live seance things move. People come out and talk to you from the other world, from the other side, and they come in different voices. They come in and they'll form in front of you sometimes, and you can touch them, and lots of things happen, and it's just amazing. So again, that's what Touching Eternity is about. And so I wanted to, I'm doing a lot of talk about Touching Eternity, because in the upcoming months, in the next month, I plan on bringing Scott Milligan, Dominic Bogue, Josephine McKenzie, and Mary DiGiovanni, I think that's her last name, DiGiovanni, hope I said it right, online for you to meet them. So they're going to tell you what they're going to bring to the event. Scott's going to teach trance and do live seance, and Dominic's going to be teaching as well and doing a demonstration. I'm going to be teaching and doing demonstrations and some other things, and Josephine's going to be teaching and demonstrating with Dominic, which is truly amazing. So it's going to be a phenomenal event in Orlando in June. So if you can get a chance to come join us in June, please do. We're going to love to see you there. So, but I am going to bring them on so that you'll be able to enjoy them. But like I said, I'm just waiting to get everything working 100%. But back to some more relationships and spirituality. The whole purpose to happiness in life is understanding who you are. And a good way to get started, step one, is learning your parents, because unfortunately, they have a big influence on you. And what I mean by learning them, it doesn't mean that you have to go back and love them or forgive them or, identify them, but it's just kind of looking at them and what you learned from their behavior, and then looked at the environment they worked and raised you in, and tried to understand why you might have felt the way you did, because of their behaviors, and try to understand that. An example. My parents were workaholics. I would go sometimes a month or two without even seeing them, because they would go to work at 4:30 in the morning, and they would come home at 11 o'clock at night, especially during crawfish season, because they were seafood workers. And so crawfish season, I'd hardly see them. If I saw them 3 hours a week, might be plenty. Other than that, my sister raised me. Yes, right. Learn that, right, Tina. Learn their strengths, their weaknesses. Learn whether they were active or passive, whether they would control people, not control, who wore the pants, who didn't wear the pants, who controlled, who didn't control. Learn all those things, and then look at yourself. What did you absorb from it? Did you feel left out? Did you feel taken? Did you feel wanted? Did you feel like you got too much? Did you feel like you didn't get enough? Did you learn about yourself through the actions of your parents and the family who raised you? Were you like I was raised by a lot of babysitters, so I got a lot of their traits with me too. All of that. I was raised by some really cool babysitters, But so I say to you, learn about those things and learn who gave you your core actions. Why you became who you are. What were your fears and why you had fears growing up? Why did you have abandonment issues? What kind of issues did you have? Were you somebody who wanted too much, or maybe you didn't want enough, or maybe you got everything you wanted, maybe you didn't get anything? Think of all those things and go back and revisit who you are and sit with it a while. If you're somebody who journals, write it down. Learn about who you are. It's very important. And if you come to the energetics level 1, that is actually mainly the whole first part of energetics 1. It's about figuring out self, and it's about how to look at self, and it's also about not judging self. That's a big one. It's about not judging self, and it's about letting go of all those negative things from your past to help aspire your spirituality, to help create that spirituality and make it positive, and learn that all those things that you might think were negative are actually strength holders that hold you together. They're actually strengths. I do an exercise in the class, and I don't want to tell you too much because in case y'all take the class, but I list things that I've done and people are like, you did that? You did that? And I'm like, yeah, I did that. Believe it or not, I did that. Yep. But you got to tell me what I didn't do. Because I give you a list of about 40 things, and I have you pick out what in this list did I not do. And it's hard. It's a wild list of things. And you got to pick in that list, what I did not do. And it's wild. And again, it's not about, the whole purpose of the exercise is to teach you not to judge somebody. Yes, ma'am, Alicia. It's all about not judging, not judging, because these things are what gives you your strengths. Things that have happened, and things, even the negative things that happen, give you your strength. Sometimes, if you've been fired from a job, or you've been harassed, or you got in a fight and lost, sometimes those are the things that gave you your strength to make a move or do something different. If you were in an abusive relationship, sometimes that was the power it took to get you to move on to something different. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it takes rock bottom to give you the power to do something. And this is just an example. Because sometimes you can do it without all that. But sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it takes something very negative to open up that flower, to make that rose petal blossom. So never be ashamed of that. Never be ashamed of that. And that's a lot about what energetics is about, is letting go of all these cultural perceptions and family ideals that people put on you all the time, and be yourself and be proud of it and move forward and shine. That's what it's all about. And learning that you're a pure soul now, and you can choose at any moment to be a good person and come from a place of love and do the right thing. And that will make you shine and stay away from negativity. And when someone pisses you off, tell them. Tell them. Alicia, I know you do that. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them you pissed me off. And having that ability to speak and say, and then with love walk away. You have made me angry, and so I need to walk away because I want to love you, and I don't want to lose that. So at this point, I'm going to walk away because I do love you, and I'm not going to stop loving you. So I need to walk away at this time, and I'll come back and we can rethink this. Yep. Yeah, girl, I know you. So these are the things that help your spirituality grow. Because I got to be honest, I've had some people do some pretty damn crappy things to me. And I can tell you that I don't hate anybody. I don't I don't really dislike anybody. I can't think of one person, and I'm going through some people done some pretty rotten things to me in life. And even to this day, if they came to me and needed something, I would help them. If they would talk to me, I would talk to them. I would not. That's just who I am. I'm not here to judge you. If you did something that tried to hurt, I'm not going to give you a chance to hurt me again. I'm not going to go be your best friend, but I will help you. And if you needed some advice, I would be there for you. I may not go to dinner with you because I'm afraid of what you might do with my food, but I would not be mean with you, or I would not be disrespectful to you. That's just who I am, because I don't feel it's necessary, and I don't hold grudges either. It's another thing I don't do, because when you hold a grudge, that means they win. That means they win. All right, Alicia, now you you can't hold a grudge because it means they win. It means you've allowed that anger to sit with you, and they win. They've made you mad enough that it sits with you, and they win. I'll learn to forgive them and say, if you feel your life's better somewhere else, go for it. If you don't want to take care of something that you need to take care of, that's your business. If it's something that I'm part of, I'll take care of it my way. You do you. I'm going to do what I need to do. I won't say, no anger here, but, it's hard. It's hard. But in order for your spirituality to grow, you have to constantly come from a place of love. That's how spirituality grows. Love is the only thing you're going to take to the other side with you. Love and memories. Everything else stays here in the physical, and that's why we have so much energetic stuff happening in the world today. And that's what I really want to get down and talk about. Yeah. Well, and it's okay to burn a bridge, Alicia. It's really okay to burn that bridge sometimes. But you need to let the pain go with it. It's like you can say, maybe it's better for me we don't talk so I don't kill you. But, but I need to also recognize the way I feel about you, and I don't want to have to feel, go there because it's negative or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to try to look at it that way. Right. You can love somebody. You don't have to necessarily like the person they've become, and that's true, Tina, and again, you don't have to be their best friend. If they're doing something negative, you have to put them on that side of the fence, and they got to earn their way to come back to this side. And that's the whole purpose of energetics. Is it's not that you don't dislike them. If they are not doing what's right, or they're very negative, they go on that side of the fence. They don't get to come back. They have to earn the right to come back on this side of the fence. See, energetics doesn't mean that you love them every time you see them, or you hug them every time you see them. Nay. Energetics means they stay on that side of the fence. That's why I said you can keep them on that side of the fence. But you also have to let go of the pain with them as well on that side of the fence. And you still, whenever you do talk to them, you talk to them with respect. You talk to them, whatever, and if they can earn their way back, but they have to talk back to you with respect, and they have to honor you in order to come back. And when you feel that they've grown enough that they can come back onto the good side of the fence, then you can allow them to come back. No, I'm not saying that you have to allow everybody into your life. But what I'm saying to you is you need to come from a place of understanding. And what I always ask you to do whenever you put somebody on that side of the fence, ask yourself, did I play a role in that outburst? Or did I play a role, did I play a role in what happened, and what was my role? And was it fair to that person, myself, or whatever, did I play a role with it? You know. Yes, you are, Alicia. I know you are. I miss you, girl. I do. I miss you and my babies. Well, one, I made a baby no more. But anyway, but I miss the babies. Uh, so, and with relationships and spirituality, in order to keep your spirituality, you have to keep good relationships. You have to keep them open and be kind. And you got to realize you may not see people for a long time. Like I know I miss you so much too. Like I haven't seen my friend Alicia in a very long time, but I love her dearly. I, I take a bullet for her, and she already knows that because I almost took a bullet for her one night at work. But because I love her to death. And but it's oh, you have to be real with yourself. And energetics about learning who you are, creating your persona so that you shine, so you can attract the love of your life. And it's all about understanding your spirituality and coming from that place of love, okay? Coming from that place of love, so that not so that you have to go look for somebody. Oh, I love her. So that person finds you. Because a good relationship is not when you go out looking, it's when the right person comes to you and finds you. Because you shine so much that person says, you're a good person. I can feel it. I can see it in you. I know I need to be with you more. And that's how you know you're going to find the right person for yourself, because that person's going to come to you and say, but I can see, the energy will draw y'all together. And that's how you know. That's when you're going to have the right one. But ladies, you can't sit at home and wait for them to ring the doorbell. They don't happen. I get so many of my clients, they're like, when am I going to meet a man? I'm saying, well, how often do you leave the house? Oh, about once a month. Well, you're never going to meet him that way. You're not going to meet him that way. You have to get out. You have to get out. Do some travel. Go have some fun. Go have some fun. And travel doesn't have to mean you have to go around the world. You can just go to the Gulf Coast. Go take $20 and put it into a slot machine and get some free rooms at the Gulf Coast. And go stay in a free room for a while. Will they find me sitting in my house? No. Well, the way social media is going these days, I guess they could eventually. I don't know. I'm waiting for the day. I remember that old movie, Logan's Run, where they had the thing where you would stand in front of your TV and push a button, and all the men and women would go through, and you'd pick whatever you want. You hit a button, they would step out of the TV into your living room. Maybe one day we'll have one like that. The way technology's going these days, and AI, you never know. Might create your own artificial person, step right out into your living room from your TV set. God knows. So anyway, that's the difference between spirituality and religion. Religion is something that is about control. It's about reason. So let's think about this. Religion was created because at one point in history, life was crazy. People were, just killing and stealing and robbing and everything was going crazy. So they needed some control. They needed to get things in control. So they started coming up, said it was different religion. They created religion. Religion came out with, think what the 10 Commandments are. It's basic life. Don't steal, don't cheat, don't murder, don't sleep with your neighbor's wife. Think about the 10 Commandments. It's basic law. Okay? Those are things you don't want to do. So, that's what keeps peace. And if you look at some of the old stuff, like they tell you where to go use the bathroom, how many feet, or if a woman's was on her cycle, they had to go so many, because they didn't know how to deal with certain disease processes and stuff. So they created all this stuff in the book way back when. All of it was basic law, and it was to keep a community safe. And of course, over time, they started feeding into it, and then kings took it and they started using it to control different groups and sect of people. And and over time it was then they started using it to take over nations and get rich and properties and taxes and God knows everything else. And I'm just giving out y'all just a big run of it all, not focused on any one, because I believe religion is important. If you pick one, I think it's important. I believe I don't. Let me rephrase that. I don't think religion's important. I think faith is important. I think you have to have faith in order to combat fear. You have to have faith in something to combat fear. That faith helps you defeat fear. Understanding helps you defeat fear. So I want you to learn to have faith in whatever it is you need to have faith in. Whether you believe in God or you don't, whether you believe in angels or you don't, whether you believe it's okay. I believe that every person has a doorway to heaven, whatever they consider heaven to be, whether heaven's fact or fiction, it's up to them. Doesn't matter. Whether they believe it's an energy or a place, it doesn't matter. Everything should be respected. I respect all religions, even Satanists. I respect it all. I don't. As long as you're not hurting, killing anybody, I respect it all. And I don't judge religions unless I've learned them and I see that they've caused some harm, then I have a problem with them. And I only have a problem with the ones that are creating the harm. I mean by disrespecting someone else's religion or faith. So it's that simple. As my friend just said, it is really that simple. An example, a lot of people think that voodoo is evil. Let me ask that out here in my audience. How many in my audience, and just throw up a symbol real quick, how many people think voodoo is evil or scary? Just hit something on the keyboard if you just think that it's evil or scary or or mysterious even. Because then I'm gonna share something with you really quick. Oh, not getting any responses. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about voodoo. Okay. So voodoo is actually based on Catholicism. So if you're Catholic and you don't like voodoo, they're pretty much the same thing. A lot of people don't know that. But I thought I would share that with you. So they're based off the same thing. The differences between voodoo and Catholicism is this. Catholicism mourns death and celebrates birth. Voodoo mourns birth and celebrates death. That is one of the differences. Where voodoo, Catholicism has the saints. Voodoo has, I believe it's called the Orishas. So it's different. So it's it's basically the same. They have the same type of belief patterns. They just got different names for stuff, and then it's the opposite of it. But they're basically the same type of religion, same key basic things in the religion. So if you're Catholic, you're pretty much voodoo too. Now hoodoo is different. That's a little deeper and a little more into the potions and the magical side and the deeper into the magical and the use of the herbs and stuff. But even in Catholicism, think about in Catholicism, every church when I grew up I went into always had the altar with all the candles that you would pay money to go light candles to pray for someone who was sick. You were lighting candles to pray for somebody who was sick. And if you did that, if they saw you doing that, if a church would see you that anywhere else, they would tell you would commit some kind of demonic sin, but it's okay to do it in the church. I never did understand that one. It was okay in the church, but it wasn't okay outside the church. When you light a candle to pray for somebody or to, you know, I don't know. I never understood that. But you could light candles in church, but nowhere else. Or you couldn't have crystals. Crystals were evil. Oh, it just amazes me. But anyway, so I never down any religions, like I said. I don't. I believe that if that's what you want to believe, that's your faith, that's your faith. I think some of it is hypocritical, but if that's what you want to believe, that's what you believe. I do believe that a lot of religions do twist the Bible, because a lot of people who believe in Jesus don't believe in his true teachings. They believe in their made-up versions of his teachings. So which I think is a shame, because Jesus did come from a place of love, and I do believe you should love. You love your neighbors and love people. I love animals and people. You should love purely, because that is one thing that the Bible does teach. Lady at work tells stories of how she does. Well, it's not really voodoo if it's bad. I think it's more hoodoo. There's different. She might call it that from ignorance, but if she's true voodoo, it's basically from the islands, and voodoo is kind of like Santeria, which is also from the islands. It's Caribbean. It also goes down into Brazil. There's a good friend of mine that teaches classes on all this, if you want to know all the distinctions. And she was actually a voodoo priest. She was actually raised very Catholic. She was a voodoo priestess, and now she's Santerian. And so she could tell you all the different, she could tell you how it all cultured in through the French and through the Spanish, and how it all went through the Caribbean Isles, and then now it's down in Brazil, and she can, tell you the history of all that. So I have a friend that one day I'll have her do a history class. I might actually have her on one day and let her do a history class for you guys, and so that y'all can understand the full history of how it got to the Caribbean islands, and then made its way down into like Brazil and everywhere. Because she goes once a year down to like Miami and visits the Orisha, who then she gets blessed and gets all the evil negativity knocked off of her. She goes and visits the high priest and gets all the negative energy cleansed off of her by the high priest. So they actually do have those ceremonies and stuff you can go to. She carries a chicken. Yeah, that's more like hoodoo more than voodoo. There's different types, just like there's different types of Baptist, there's different types of this, but true voodoo is not. It's Catholicism in reverse. It's instead of mourning birth, instead of celebrating birth, they mourn birth and they celebrate death. Because they believe death takes you back home, takes you back to freedom. They believe that your journey in life is hell, and that's what they believe. Now, I think I told y'all last night, though. Yeah, another one of my friends. Oh yeah, we talked about that last night. So I don't want to talk about it again, about the cayenne pepper. So yeah, some of those stuff works. One of my old friends, that stuff works. Some of that stuff they tell you does work. I don't want to play with no chicken feed either, but some of that stuff works. So I don't. Ooh. Anyway, so let's get back on topic. So spirituality, and again, the best way to feed your soul, one is movement. So I need to let people know that movement, singing, joy, music, painting, artwork. And Chris, that's something I think you're going to really enjoy at Touching Eternity this year. Is one of Josephine is going to be teaching psychic art. She's phenomenal. So she's going to be at Touching Eternity in June. You're going to enjoy that, and we're going to be teaching y'all connection. So I think that's one thing I want to teach with Josephine is, after you do the psychic art classes, actually I'm going to do some mediumship and see if y'all can draw the community who we're bringing in. So that's going to be cool too. But anyway, so maybe you can start drawing soulmates That'll be really cool. Let me draw your soulmate for you. Anyway, but so positivity is definitely important. Understanding who you are is important. Understanding how you think. Understanding, looking at your parents, looking at your grandparents, looking at your friends, how you grew up is really important. If you've had any trauma stops, those are important to look at, and learning how you grew from those and being proud of yourself from growing those. Understanding what fears you have and what blocks you have. And have you made any adjustments to those fears or those blocks are very important in you developing your spirituality. Learning to meditate, yoga. I like to sit in the power. That helps me more than meditation. What is sitting in the power for those of you who have not been to Touch in Eternity or have taken trance? Sitting in the power for me is a little bit different than just plain meditation. Sitting in the power for me is when I sit with this, with when I'm building power. So it's almost like it's like when we sit and when we meditate, we pull in, we go inside. Sitting in the power is when we go out. We go from the root out into the universe, and we just sit there and become one with the universe, and we allow the universe to interact with us in our energetic field. That to me is sitting in the power. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. Instead of focusing internally, we focus externally and allow the universe to interact with us in our energetic fields. That's what I call sitting in the power, because we're drawing in the power of the universe that's around us. And that it kind of sounds some of you kind of wanky, but it really works. It does. It gives you energy. It helps create your language, because you're able to communicate, because you're not just focused on you, you're focused on externally. So I do recommend that to those who are looking to become more intuitive. So that's really, really, really important. Okay, it is almost 9 o'clock. So what I am going to do, let's see how many people I got in the room. I got 9, so I think that's enough. Let me see if I can get anybody here. Now, guys, this is important. If I'm gonna do one, if I can get clear responses, I will continue and do a second one. Again, it takes responses, because I have to know if I really got something or I don't have anything. I have a male here with me right now. I have a male that joined me. I do believe he's someone's son, or it's a son or it's someone younger than they are who has passed on. I also feel too, whatever this is, I'm getting something that's it's medical, or it's some type of medical. It's a medical thing. It's medical, because I'm feeling it from here to here. Does somebody understand that? Someone here lose a son or lose someone younger than they are, and it would have been something medical. It's coming to the side. I need to see a yes or a no. It would be a son or a nephew. It's somebody younger. It's a male, though, who just popped in my head. I need to see a response. I don't have TikTok, so I can't see if it's somebody on TikTok. Tina said no. Got a male here, and he's coming in. He's shorter, but that's why I think he's younger. He's coming on the male side. I'm getting something medical. I'm getting something in my gut, but I don't know if it's a gut, but I know it's medical. Let me see. Popped up as soon as I can, and there's something too about there's either the name Noah or something about a whale or something about not Noah, Jonah, or the whale, or whatever. There's something about that with this kid, or that's crazy that I just saw that clear as day. Know that I'm saying that again. I'm gonna let it go since nobody can take it. This is a male, and well, he's there. He ain't going away. Am I calling it wrong? Hold on. It's male for sure. That was pretty distinct. Hey, Debbie. Anyway, I have this young boy. I think that he won't go away. I got to get him to go away. And I keep saying he's young. He's just somebody's boy because he came short, but now he looks tall to me. So I think he's grown. He's grown, but he told me he's making me feel like he's somebody's son or he's a nephew, or because he's younger. He's not. He's younger than the person that this is for. And it's something to do with either living on the coastline or being on the coastline or whatever, because he keeps taking me to, like, I'm looking at like the ocean and I can see a whale out there, and he keeps showing me that that's important. So I don't know what that's about. Know that I said that because he won't go away. I'm trying to feel bring me somebody else. I also think his grandmother on the mother's side is passed as well. Got to get him out of my head. And nobody understands that. Well, I'm going to let it go. Nobody, because I can't see if it's somebody else on the other website. I only can see Facebook people. But he was pretty clear to me. And now I've got another, it's guy night. I got another guy here. He comes across like somebody's dad. He had a heart condition. He had a known heart condition, and he did die from a heart condition. Um, and he wasn't the only one with a heart condition because he makes me feel there was another either relative or brother or father. It's another male that also had a heart condition who also passed. Um, this is somebody's dad who had the dad that passed with the heart condition with the heart issues, and it was known. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't like nobody knew that, we knew this guy had a heart condition. Somebody chime in. It was in this, but we knew about it, Tina. Oh, okay, Debbie, your dad. Okay, Debbie, is your dad named John? Just like ask me this. Answer that. Is your dad named John? Just say yes or no. Probably no, but I just wanted to clear some. I want to make sure these readings weren't overlapping. Okay. I saw something early and I want to make sure they weren't overlapping. I didn't think his name was John. Okay. All right, Debbie. And now, did he have a brother, or did his dad also pass with a heart attack as well, Debbie? Okay. So I probably got you, my love. And this is really weird, Debbie, and I'm gonna probably get a no. Did you live by a bowling alley, or did he live by a bowling alley? No. He showed me something that looks like it's long. It almost looks like a bowling lane, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell that is. But just know that I said that, okay? Okay. So let me continue, Debbie. And also, what's important about the fourth of the month? Do you understand the fourth of the month, Debbie? Tina, you might be a piggyback. I'll come to you. But Debbie, do you understand about the fourth of the month? Or the month of April? He had a heart attack on July 5th. Okay. Wow. Okay. Why did he show me the fourth? What happened on the fourth with him that he had the heart attack on July 5th? Because that's what he brought up was the fourth. All right. Now also, are you having back issues right now, Debbie? Are you having something done with your back? No. He showed me, and it might be, but he showed me what looked like a spine, and then he showed me looked like an X-ray. So just be careful. I don't know if that was him or if it's you. Please be careful. He does show me an X-ray of what looked like a spine. I need to say that, so I want to say that to you. So please be careful because I love you dearly, and I don't want to see anything. I don't want you to have a bobo. And Debbie, how old is your son now? He had terrible back issues. Your son? Oh, your dad did. How old is your son? 37. Is he going to Australia? Who's going to Australia? You or your son? Your dad, whoever this is that I'm talking to, I think it's your dad, told me somebody's going to Australia. Who is it? You or your son? Because then he brought up like your son. Did you know you were going to Australia? No. Okay. No one I know. My sister went. Oh, well, maybe it's her. He just showed me the boomerang, and I'm like, he said someone, or he mentioned that's my son for Australia. So okay, that's fine. That happened after he died, but he knows about it because he gave me my symbol for Australia, so he brought it up. And I'm like, that's pretty wild. You may go in too. You may eventually go because he brought it up. Don't be surprised because I think it's you more than anything. Also, wow, that's weird. What is that? It's like some kind of lamp. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, he didn't make it clear enough. Now, is there a Charles or a Charlie? Um, is there a Charles or a Charlie, Debbie, in your life, living or dead? It brings up the CH name. I'm trying to figure out who that is. And also, Debbie, did you just get a new job? Did you just get a new job, Debbie? Or are you doing something different? Because he keeps talking about when I'm connecting to him, the message from him is he keeps saying he was telling me he got something new that's changing or happening. I keep seeing the light getting turned on. He says, keep turning on the light. There's more to this. Do you understand that? Okay, so you had a fall. Okay, so that's okay. That's probably what he was showing me. Are you working yet or no? You're not. You may be going back to work because he keeps talking about you having a new something coming into the light. He keeps showing me the light and he keeps seeing the light turning back on. So I keep seeing things getting clearer, things happening is what he's showing me. Now, well, there's something happening, Debbie, because he keeps putting the light on. So there's either some new surgery or something they're going to try with you. So I need to say that to you. Because every time I see this man, he keeps putting on this lamp. And I don't know if it's what he's talking because I keep turning on the light. I keep turning on the light. So it can be like there's something new that's happening. Maybe it is with your court case. I'm not sure, but he keeps putting the light on. And whatever this is, I feel is going to be completely resolved by the month of July once again. So I think that July 4th reference or the 5th of July with him is also like a significant date for this to be resolved. So I want to say that as well. There's a CH name involved in all of this. I do not know who that is, but I want to say that as well. I also think that you're going to be getting involved in something that's going to bring in income. I don't know what that is, but there is something there too. I feel that as well. And do you have is there another female living in the house with you? He just showed me a female laying her head down by you. And I'm trying to see what he's doing by that. What he means by that. I thought you lived alone because I've talked to you in the past. I didn't. So I don't know what that's about, but he showed me another female lay her head down by you. So I don't know what he's trying to say with that, but I want to tell you the vision that he put in my head. So I don't know if you have a visitor coming by or if or or what that's about, but he shows me another female laying her head down by you. So I don't know, or if you're going to go help somebody else. I don't know what he's trying to say with that, but he gave me a vision of you're standing there and some woman just put her head down by you, and I don't understand what that mean what he meant by that. So I thought you lived alone. And when is your birthday? There's something about your birthday that's important too. So I don't know what that's about. He brings that up. There's something happening right around your birthday. So I don't know if that means something's maturing at that time or something's happening, but there's something happening right around your birthday. Because he just sent me Gambino's cake. Ah, July. Okay. All right. So it's July. All right. So yeah, something's happening in July with you, girl. Okay. So hold on to hold on to that. All right. And I love you, girl. All right. Where's Miss Tina? All right, so Tina, you understood you had the aneurysm and you had the other person that had the heart issue as well. And you had, did you understand anything that Debbie did not? Okay. Love to you, girl. I miss you, my love. Miss you. Miss you much, Debbie. All right. Starts with C and is sending me. All right. So let's talk about that. Let's see what else I got for you. Now, so Tina, are they trying? Are they putting you on a list? Or are you already on the list for the transplant? Hey, Barbara. Tina, Barbara's another wonderful medium friend of mine. Tina, are you on the list? Are you on the transplant list? Because I do think you're going to have a surgery, Tina. That's what I wanted to say. I don't know if it's a transplant surgery, but I do see a surgery. So I want to say that to you as well. So I do want to say that. So I don't know if it's the transplant, but they giving me a symbol for surgery. So I want to say that to you. I do think you'll have one. I do think it's not going to be till around September. Some kind of procedure and or surgery around September of this year. So I do want to say that too. Right, they've seen if you're camp, but I don't know if that's the surgery that I'm talking about. I just see a surgery and or procedure because they gave me a symbol for that, but in the way they placed it in timeline in my head, it looks to be around September. So it's not like soon. I'm looking at around maybe September, and it may just be a procedure. Like I said, it just showed me my symbol for surgery and or procedure. So I want to stay that now. Who's the woman with the crazy hair around you, Tina, that passed? Who got the wild hairdo? Is that a grandmother or who's that? There's a woman just dropped in while I was talking to you, and her hair was kind of full. Let's put it that way. Clueless on that one. I don't know. But I was talking to some woman with wild hair, just like kind of fluffy hair, just dropped in, and I'm like, who the hell was that? Now, I kind of feel that this surgery is going to happen late September, maybe beginning October, is what it looks like. Sometime in that time frame is when you're going to learn all about it. It's some kind of surgery and or procedure that you're going to have. I'm also a little bit worried about your kidneys, so I want you to stay on top of that too. Now, which one of your mom's parents had to have an assisted device? Was that mom or dad? Keep seeing the assisted device falling on mom's side of the tree. Or was that your mom? I just saw they just showed me assisted device, like hospital assisted, like like a movement device, like a. They showed me what looked like a wheelchair, but it doesn't mean wheelchair. I mean like it could have been a walker, it could have been a wheelchair, but it's an assisted device to move. Would my kidneys cause pain under my breast? Not necessarily. No. Usually back pain for, for kidneys. Usually lower back, mid back pain. Usually, but women are weird. So women when they have a heart attack get pain in different places than the norm. So, but that sounds like where under which breast? Your mom was on, and she had been pressed. So this is your mom then. Okay, so it's your mom. They talk. Your mom's here talking right now. Then that's who I'm talking with too. Your mom. All right. Now, which side of your which breast is it? Your right? It's your right lung. So it's right on. Oh, breath, right lung. I don't know. So I'm trying to find out from which lung, Tina. And Barbara's timing in too because Barbara's also a medium. Left side. So if it's under your breast left, that could be your heart. If it was the right side, because your liver's over here, spleen's down here, so that could be your heart. Because women get their chest pain happens in like different places than guys. So you could be having lung pain if you have stage 3 emphysema. Okay. Well, then you need to focus on that. Did y'all have COVID or anything? Because that can also cause stuff too. I knew what you were saying. And having COVID, and if you had COVID, so what you need to concern. My concern is that you're going to end up with COPD, which we don't want you to have, because when you get so COPD is when you have a mixture of more than one lung disease, and it causes issues, and it can also cause you to go into ARDS or something like that, and you don't want that. So just lung health. You need to get into some lung health stuff and strengthen those lungs. You need to strengthen those lungs. All right. So, Tina, I do think they are going to do some type of surgery. Tina, pay attention to black crows. One's going to sit real close and watch your house, or watch you sit and watch what you're doing. I just saw that. Actually, that's going to be probably mom sending that. It's going to sit. It's going to sit in a place you're going to notice, and it's not going to scare you. Like it might. It's going to sit right in a place, and it's not going to move, and you're going to see it there for a while. It's going to be a black crow. Pay attention to that, and you can tell me about it. All right, folks. What does a black crow mean? Nothing. It means that it's just your mom saying, "Think of me." Everything doesn't have a meaning. It just means think of me. That's all that it means. When just think of me. I never forget. I was reading this woman, and I was reading Kalila Smith. I'll tell you, she doesn't mind me using her name. And I was reading her daughter Stephanie for the first time. And when she left my house, I had two. When she left Denise's house, that's where I was at. Two black crows sat on Denise's porch and did not move for like 24 hours. Did not move. Like I walked by them, they didn't budge. I came back in the house, they didn't budge. But they were like protecting the house, like they were guarding the house. It was really weird. Like 24 hours, they didn't move at all. And then one of them flew and then flew back and went right and hit the window, bloop, and then flew off again. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I'd never seen that before. And that was like they were protecting the house, the two crows. And I had brought through two people for Kalila. I brought through her daughter and one of her ex-boyfriends. And it was truly amazing. But it really does it just means that to think of me. They send little gifts to you, a little, think of me's. That's what I call it. Think of me. All right, folks, it is getting late, and I will be back on next week. I have been doing annual doctors. Tina, you need to do annual doctors. Take good care of yourselves because I love you all. I want to thank you. And don't forget, this Saturday, I am doing a gallery here at my home at 111 at 1 p.m. So 111. It's $20. You can get seats at on my website, sid-patrick.com. It is limited seating. come join us. Everyone will get some sort of message. Whether I connect to your loved one or not, I will give you a message for the new year. And if we're going to do an aura photo sale for the day. But if you want an aura photo, come a little bit early, come around noon, and we'll get you an aura photo, and I'll give you a reading on that too. That too is half price, is $20 too. But you can pay that here when you get here. But to get a seat at the event, you got to go online and get the seat, because I can only hold so many people in my house. I will be serving drinks. They're not necessarily unlimited. When the mimosas run out, they run out. When the Cokes or the coffee won't run out, I got plenty of coffee. Or bottled water, I got plenty of that. But there'll be drinks and stuff for everybody that comes. And but it's limited seating. So please go get your tickets at sid-patrick.com. And it's this Saturday at 1 p.m. at my home. The address is on the website. Love you guys. See you soon. Thank you. And I'm trying to come on a little bit every night. And so if y'all want to see some more readings, and I'm trying to learn this system to get better and better at it, so that soon I can see everybody's remarks, not just Facebook's. I'm trying to get to where I can see TikTok's remarks, so that first reading might have been for somebody on TikTok. So anyway, love you guys. Talk to you later.